What's up, everybody? Dylan from the Smart Economy podcast. Today we're joined by Willy Ogorzaly.
Ogorzaly. We'll count it. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so this is day one of Consensus. Willy, what is this? What are you working on?
Well, this is Tom. Tom is the new CEO of Nounspace. And Nounspace is a Nounish Farcaster client inspired by MySpace. So Tom's very inspired by Tom. We'll start there. Go ahead.
All right, so you're building on Farcaster. What is Nounspace? You said it's MySpace. Maybe some of our listeners or watchers in this case might not have even ever used MySpace before. So what are you trying to emulate on Farcaster?
So yeah, Farcaster, for those of y'all that don't know, is a decentralized social protocol that anyone can build on top of. Anyone can build an application that taps into the Farcaster network so that your users from your application can write to the Farcaster network and read all the data from the Farcaster network. So Warpcast is like the big leading Farcaster client right now, developed by the protocol team, but they're very supportive of other clients. So Nouns, which is my favorite DAO out there, funded Nounspace 56 days ago. They had a competition for 3 projects to make proposals to build a Nounish Farcaster client. And we kind of got to figure out, what does a Nounish Farcaster client look like? So that's some of the background. For those of y'all that don't know MySpace was freaking awesome. It was my first social network as like a 12-year-old. I loved it. One of the really cool things about Nounspace was that you could customize your profile. So about MySpace was that you could customize your profile. Nounspace is all about customization. So you can customize the look, feel, sound, and even the functionality of your space, which is what we call a profile, or your home base, which is just a space that only you as the user can see. So what does that mean? We've got themes. You can customize the color, the background with images or even code. You can customize the music that plays when people come to visit your space.
Nice.
And we have this concept called fidgets, which are really the core innovation behind Nounspace. So fidgets are Farcaster widgets that you can embed on your space or your home base. It's like little mini widgets or applications, basically React components for the technical folks out there that can do anything. Anything from like text or images or like the NFTs that you have in your wallet, all the way to like entire applications or like a token swap fidget for any project that has a token. Now you can actually swap into their token directly from their space right next to their social feed. So everything's a fidget. It's all about customizability. You have your space. You can add tabs. Each tab can have 9 fidgets. And you can customize the theme, look, feel, and sound of each tab. That's Nounspace. We're about 56 days into building it. And we're aiming to launch it and open up access to NOGS holders, which is our early access Nounspace OG NFTs, on July 2nd, which is 34 days from now, I think. So yeah, clock's ticking. The engineers are back in the dungeons, grinding right now to get everything ready for y'all, while we're out here with Nounspace Tom, just spreading the good word.
Yeah, so you guys got funded by Nouns, and you're going to be releasing a product all within 90 days of receiving the grant.
Exactly, and we're building it all in public. It's pretty cool. We're just building it on Farcaster, like tweeting, casting every single day about our progress. And really, Nounspace Tom is our first, is our new spokesperson. So if you're on Farcaster and you're not following Nounspace Tom yet, highly recommend following him so you can get all the upgrades on our progress, all the updates on our progress, get involved even. And he's just got a lot of wisdom that he's dropping. So really recommend following Nounspace Tom on Farcaster.
So when Nounspace launches, is Nounspace Tom going to be the first friend that everybody has?
100%. So one of the interesting things you can do when you build a Farcaster client is you can basically make it so that whenever somebody signs in or signs up on Nounspace, we can have them automatically follow Tom on Farcaster, and then we can build something to make it so that Tom will automatically follow you back. So that's the plan, is as soon as you sign up for Nounspace, you'll automatically be following Tom and he'll follow you back.
I love it. All right, so 2 quick questions. Why did you go through the Nouns DAO to receive funding? And why did you opt to build on Farcaster as opposed to any of the other DSOC networks that are being launched right now?
Yeah, well, I'm bullish on Nouns and I'm bullish on Farcaster. I'm a community member of Nouns. I have been a fan for years and then really got involved earlier this year when I went part-time at the Fox Foundation. So I was getting more involved with Nouns. I've been working for the past year on forking Nouns for ATX DAO and launching ATX Nouns. So was already just getting very involved. It was actually at an ATX DAO party when I was hanging out with some Nouners, and we were talking about this Nounish Farcaster client competition. And I was, at the same time trying to figure out what should I build next, basically. What's the next mission going to be? I love DAOs, I love crypto, I love social. I've been dreaming about building a social network since college. more on the social good side, like a social network to save the world. So I've always loved the idea of these social networks. And I love MySpace. So it started literally as a fucking joke, where we're like, dude, what if we like did a proposal to like bring MySpace back? And then Brennan, who I just did a Nouns panel with, awesome, also local Austinite Noun community member, loved it. He's like, dude, do that. He's a full stack developer. He got into development through customizing profiles on MySpace as a teenager. And I have a lot of friends in my generation who have that exact same story. I'm not a developer, but I loved copy pasting and like maybe taking a little bit of other developers' code to customize my MySpace. So I love the idea of building a social network at the intersection of crypto. We're also doing some really, really cool stuff with AI and Morpheus, so that not only will we be able to embed fidgets on your space, but all of these smart agents that are getting developed in the Morpheus ecosystem will be interoperable with fidgets. And Nounspace will be one of, hopefully, the best place where you as a user can actually find these smart agents and access them and embed them on tabs on your home base so you have easy access to it. I think that's one of the big questions with these smart agents is like, where do you actually find and use them?
Yeah.
I don't think it makes sense for people to go to like all these different websites just for each kind of like tool or use case that they have. Our thesis is that social is where it makes sense to bring it all together. So Nouns basically inspired the idea. I put out a cast thread, kind of half joking, about like, oh, what do you guys think about like a MySpace Farcaster client? And people really liked it. And so I'm like, all right, this has legs. Started like thinking about like, okay, maybe we should put together a proposal. There's like a week left to get the proposal in before the deadline. And every day I started just drafting it. Cam, my co-founder at Bitfract, who's right here, came to visit me during the middle of the proposal process. And I just turned off everything and I'm like, I'm not gonna stop until the proposal's done. And every day the concept just evolved. And like fidgets were like a big breakthrough. So we're building a Nouns Farcaster client. How do we make a client that works for not just Nouns, which is an amazing infinite game, but all of these different like sub-DAOs that have fork nouns, like ATX nouns and stuff, or NARs. And what we realized is that it's all about customizability. Mm-hmm. And then we had the idea for fidgets. And like really, now there's nothing else that I want to build besides Nounspace. So I'm like, this is a perfect project. It needs to exist. We've got the support of Nouns. Farcaster is blowing up right now, and I could not be more bullish on like any decentralized social network actually like disrupting Twitter or Facebook. I think Farcaster has what it takes. And I think that clients like Nounspace on top of Farcaster, I'm gonna say it right here, y'all can quote me. I think that Nounspace has the potential to be the killer app that brings the masses on chain, partially because we want MySpace back, right? And what better way to do it than on top of Farcaster as an open source, community-owned social network with Tom as a CEO. It's perfect.
I love it. For anybody who's listening to this, Willy was a previous guest in the Smart Economy podcast where he talked about his expertise in decentralizing Shapeshift and turning it into a DAO. So bringing that experience that you created a DAO out of a centralized entity, probably the first decorporatized into a decentralized entity in the US. You can go back and listen to that episode and also hear about the previous work that he did with his co-founder Cameron. I guess one last thing I want to ask is, you're now a local here in Austin. This is the third year in a row that Consensus has come to the city. Is this your first Consensus in Austin? And if not, how has the vibe met, exceeded, or fallen short of previous events? And what's just your general hope for decentralized entities and communities in Austin?
Yeah, so great questions. I love Austin. I've been coming to Consensus for the past 3 years here. This is like pretty crazy timing to have a conference where we've had like one of the most historic weeks in crypto with the ETF getting approved, the whole regulatory environment completely shifting 180. It's so cool because they plan this out probably at least a year in advance, and it just happens to be like the most amazing time. Not like at peak bull market where it's just a bunch of like hype machines, but like all the builders coming together celebrating like one of the most monumental weeks we've ever had in crypto. So pretty awesome. I will say I'm a little bit disappointed. Like there's a Consensus hackathon going on right now. We were planning to like build some cool stuff for Nounspace, go on stage, but the tracks are like, it's like Stellar, it's Polkadot, it's Stacks, some other zombie chain. There's no like EVM stuff, and I'm a big Ethereum fan, so like one of the cool things about Consensus is that it's not all Ethereum, but I actually prefer like the ETH Denver, the DevCon, the Ethereum conference vibes are probably my favorite. And then to go to like one of the biggest crypto conferences and then to not really have like any EVM or even L2 presence is a little bit disappointing. And the fact that it's like, look, we're not gonna go build something on these other chains, we're building on EVMs. Right. So like, are we not eligible to compete in the hackathon? I wasn't stoked to see that. So hopefully we can have some more like, there were L2s last year at Consensus. I hope next year, like maybe Base. It would be awesome for Base, for example, to have a booth here. I'd be hanging out at the Base booth. Yeah.
Nice. And then just to wrap it up, can you shill ATX DAO a little bit and what the Austin community is like here?
Yeah, so Austin has an incredible crypto community. It's an amazing city. Don't need to sell you on Austin. It's got everything you need, and the crypto community here is super strong. ATX DAO is kind of what brings that all together. So it's a DAO of right now 215 members. We're about to open that up again with Nounish auctions for new memberships, with the first ever dynamic auction algorithm, where the duration of the auctions for ATX DAO memberships will fluctuate based on demand, which is measured by the sale price relative to the target price of the prior auctions. So it sounds a little complicated, but it's actually pretty simple. And as a user, all you need to know is like, there's always going to be an ATX DAO membership available. We don't really know how many members we want to onboard next year or 5 years from now. So the dynamic auction algorithm will basically figure that out for us. It'll let the market decide, and it'll adjust to like seasonal demand. So yeah, ATX DAO, we build a lot of cool stuff. It's a lot of builders. We host a lot of the amazing crypto events in Austin. We're doing events every month, if not every week. We're doing multiple events per day each week at Consensus, including the official closing party. I'll be doing a panel tomorrow about city DAOs as nodes in network states.
Cool.
So this network state thing is getting a lot of traction right now. And yeah, ATX DAO has been doing like the network state thing before it was a meme, basically. So city DAOs are a great way to form these network states. And I think a dream would be like, the dream, in my opinion, as one community member, would be if we could show the city of Austin and get the city of Austin to adopt like a more DAO-ish model or some DAO tooling, basically. And instead of trying to like go build a new network state somewhere else, like how about we make Austin a network state? Like maybe Texas can secede. That's the dream. We're years away from that. In the meantime, we just like are bringing the crypto community together, funding awesome ideas, showing the rest of Austin the good side of Web3, and that it's definitely not scams. Here's a bunch of amazing builders, funding artists, funding nonprofits here locally, and throwing amazing events.
Willy, thanks for your time. Thanks for bringing Tom along.
Anytime. Yeah.
Really appreciate it. And for anyone who's watching this, head over to smarteconomypodcast.com to catch more episodes.
GM, y'all.